the Colts did Anthony Richardson dirty. Like, flat out. They benched Anthony Richardson for Daniel Jones, which I just don't get. I thought it was a weird decision to bring in a guy who's played, 70 games in New York, who has struggled, and now you're starting him for what reason? To save your job, Shane Steichen? I just don't get it. Anthony Richardson started 13 games in college and was drafted as a project. So why was he not treated like one? Like, that's the thing that always baffles me. You draft a project, but you treat him like an NFL-ready professional. It just doesn't make sense to me. He was a week 1 starter for a team that was not ready to win. What did we expect? I'm not here to argue that Anthony Richardson is ready to go in the NFL. I don't even think that he should be starting. For sure not. Because there are consistency issues and there are details and basics with his game that he is missing. But again, he was a project coming out of college. Shane Steichen knew who AR was entering the draft. He needed at least a few good years behind a good veteran quarterback and a coach that was detailed and patient enough to let the talent develop. I was talking to Deshaun, and he told me the Chiefs drafted Mahomes, and he sat for a year. But AR was a starter week 1. Explain that to me, please. Because as a raw talent, Anthony Richardson is top 5 in the league. You cannot teach that arm talent. But there are basics and details with his game that are just missing because he's only played a handful of games. I've probably played more football in my life than Anthony Richardson, which is crazy to think about. And it's pretty much been all flashes of greatness. But that's the issue, right? It's all flashes. There's no consistency. But that comes with time. But instead of the Colts helping the development of Anthony Richardson, right? Bringing in a veteran, letting him learn. Like, look what the Packers did with Rodgers and Love. Drafted Love, sat him behind Rodgers. He learned, came in, and he wasn't nearly as bad as I think he would have been if he started week 1. Same thing with Mahomes. Lamar started out rough. Josh Allen started out rough. They took time to develop, and they were not nearly as raw of a project as Anthony Richardson. So it's distasteful, and it's sad that they gave up on Anthony Richardson, and they pretty much fed him to the dogs without any help week 1. And ever since then, it's been a disaster. And, I've talked about it. I've watched his games. He hasn't looked good. But what did we expect? He's played 13. He started in 13 games in college. He wasn't pro ready. He needed a coach that cared and was willing to wait on his development. And he just didn't get that in Indianapolis.